Everybody. It seems like nowadays many laptops out there have had issues with overheating, or at least many models out there have been known for overheating issues. You're looking at a HP DB6000 motherboard, and the cooler is still attached to it. The CPU is still installed too. And probably one of the most common reasons for many computers out there to overheat a lot, especially laptops, can be blamed on the design of the cooler. Here's a close look at this cooler. This cooler cools both the CPU and the North bridge. Normally, you would find the CPU here and the North bridge here, but HP decided to have it backwards, so that way the CPU's heat would come across the chipset, make it run hotter. Single heat pipe going from here to the fins. Now many other brands out there have better quality coolers that have two heat pipes, one for the CPU, one for the North bridge, and sometimes you'll find ones that have a heat pipe for the CPU and North bridge and a separate heat pipe for the discrete graphics controller if one's included. This one does not have a discrete graphics controller, rather it uses the onboard graphics built into the chipset. And this one is an NVIDIA chipset, and these computers were definitely known for overheating problems. There's all sorts of random failures. These actually were one of the reasons HP got sued for not honoring warranty repairs. Even though, it was after the 1-year warranty, but so many of these things were failing and HP was not honoring any sort of warranty coverage or anything, so they got sued over it. Anyways, that being said, I can pick this up, and with the motherboard still attached, there's some weight to it. Let's have a look at the fan. This is your basic cheap fan. These fail pretty often, especially when dust ends up in the cooling fins. The fan has to work harder and stays on a lot longer, and it fails. So that being said, I'm just going to look at something else. This laptop cooler is from a Dell Inspiron 5150. This computer was probably from 2004. Now, just to clarify things, newer laptop CPUs have lower TDP ratings, more or less thermal design power ratings. This one's probably rated for 30 watts. But remember, you gotta consider, this cooler is doing both the CPU and the North bridge chipset. This cooler just does the CPU. It was a Pentium 4 2.8 gig processor. It claimed to be a mobile processor, but it didn't have much of any difference between the desktop processor. It even had a heat spreader. So you notice here with this cooler, it's all copper. Even the fins are copper. This here is probably aluminum. This cooler's got a lot of weight to it too. This cooler weighs just about as much as this motherboard and cooler do together. And have a look at this fan. Much larger fan. This in here can put out a lot of air. Now, of course, this in here draws us a slight bit more power doing it. This one's rated for 5 volts. Not sure of the amperage rating. This one's rated for 12 volts. It's a Sunon 2.4 watt fan. Runs on 12 volt DC. So it can definitely move a lot more air through these copper fins. And of course, if y'all already know, copper does a very good job at transferring heat. You find copper on a cooler, it's pretty safe to assume it's a good quality cooler. And this laptop came to me in working condition. I decided to part it out though, because it was not the best of condition cosmetic wise. It was heavily used, but it still managed to turn on and actually post and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just want to show you a general idea of laptop coolers over the years. They've gotten smaller, and laptops tend to overheat more often and fail. So anyways, any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.